The night is darkest just before the dawn. I promise you, the dawn is coming.
Welcome everyone. Mercedes must be hoping the dawn is coming, and can Silverstone mark the turn of the tide? For the British Grand Prix, the categories are the usual podium and the top 10. We also look at the drivers who are on the edge and must demonstrate significant improvement. So stay tuned till the end of the video, as the new sprint race format for Silverstone might just throw in a few surprises. Here is a quick look at the sprint race weekend format. Also, do subscribe if you haven't already, as the next video is going to be the top 5 drivers of the 2021 season so far. Daniel Ricciardo needs to make significant improvement with his qualifying pace after a couple of decent performances in Bahrain and Imola, where he put his McLaren on the third row of the grid. His qualifying performance has sunk to an all-time low, just about tussling into the top 10 a couple of times, with a 7th place in Spain and a 10th in France. Ricciardo failed to make it to the all-important Q3 5 times this season. However, he has maintained a consistent race pace, scoring points in 7 races. Daniel currently stands 8th in the Drivers' Championship with 40 points, behind both the Ferrari drivers, and just 1 point ahead of AlphaTauri ace Pierre Gasly. While teammate Lando Norris has been electrifying this season, Daniel is definitely under more pressure as a result of this, and puts him on the edge to produce better results. Ricciardo is capable of bouncing back like he always does on the race day. Although Daniel is on the edge, he will be our first driver in the top 10. After a spectacular debut in Bahrain, Tsunoda has made several costly mistakes. Even though AlphaTauri is competitive to be in the points consistently, Yuki managed to score points only twice and stands 14th in the drivers' standings with just 9 points, only ahead of the backmarker teams Alfa Romeo, Williams and Haas. While it's understandable that Yuki is in his maiden F1 season, it's his aggressive nature, both on the track and with his team, puts him on the edge to demonstrate progress. Moving him to Italy certainly seems a positive direction, as team principal Franz Tost has taken the responsibility to mentor Tsunoda. Looking at the next generation of Red Bull prodigies, Yuri Vips and Liam Lawson, Yuki needs to pull up his socks to secure his seat for 2022 and stay in F1. We have seen how quick Red Bull can change its drivers, so Tsunoda is on the edge. And guys, just a reminder that Nicholas Latifi is still on the grid, and of course a driver on the edge. Moving on to the next driver, after achieving his best ever grid start of 5th place in Spain and scoring points in 4 consecutive races from Imola to Monaco, Esteban Ocon has had a disastrous last 4 races, starting from a retirement in Baku till yet another DNF in Austria. Whether it's the car setup or own pace, Esteban has been struggling. Did Alonso manage to turn the whole team's focus around himself like he always does? Or is there a genuine problem with Ocon's car? It's unclear at this moment, but Ocon is our next driver who is on the edge, while Alonso is having a great run and could deliver points for the team yet again in the British Grand Prix. Alright everyone, it's really great fun doing this video. British Grand Prix is really a special one for me, because it's the first ever Formula 1 race I ever watched. Which is your first ever race? Do let me know in the comments. Next up, we are talking about Sergio Perez. Perez has been steadily improving this season and has been the myth-buster of the Red Bull second seat curse. While the second race at Red Bull's home track has been a wild ride for Sergio, starting in 3rd place and almost overtaking Lando Norris to claim 2nd, to a 10-second time penalty for pushing Leclerc off the track twice at turn 4 and turn 6 in a race-long battle with Charles Leclerc. Perez has since apologized to Leclerc, saying he's not the type of driver and not comfortable with himself. Perez has scored points in all the races except Imola on changing track conditions. Let's place him in the top 10. Carlos Sainz has beaten teammate Charles Leclerc in all the 3 races of the triple header. Sainz's confidence in the Ferrari has grown, strengthening his place in the team, especially in the 2 Austrian rounds, where he dragged his Ferrari to a respectable 6th and the 5th place, after starting 12th and 10th on the grid, following poor qualifying results. Sainz delivered a perfect result by flawlessly executing the strategy with incredible tyre management. Sainz has a great chance to finish in the top 10 at Silverstone. Moving on to the usual suspects in the top 10. In the turbo hybrid era, Hamilton has dominated the British Grand Prix, winning 6 of the 7 races since 2014 and finishing second in the other. Following the demolition by Verstappen in the triple header, Hamilton will enter this year's race as a clear underdog. He is hoping that the car goes well at Silverstone. There are a few upgrades coming, but it may not close the gap significantly. Which position can Hamilton achieve at Silverstone? Let's come back to that. Lando Norris finished third in Austria, although he could have ended second if he hadn't been penalized 5 seconds for a collision with Perez, who was forced into the gravel at turn 4, while attempting to overtake Norris around the outside. Norris has been penalized with 2 penalty points, increasing his total to 10 for the year. Norris made it to Q3 and scored points in all the races so far. He is the only driver to achieve this record in 2021. He is in the best form of his life after beating both the Mercedes cars in qualifying on pure pace and splitting them in the race. Let's put him in the top 10 and come back and see if he can repeat his podium performance. Valtteri has been in the top 4 6 times this season except for Baku. 5 of them have been podiums, which shows he certainly made the most of the package he was given. But he's yet to beat his teammate Lewis Hamilton. For years, he has been the team's safe choice as Hamilton's teammate. Bottas may end up losing his seat at Mercedes at the end of the year. But will the new format at Silverstone allow Bottas to secure his first win of the season? To win a race, Bottas has to beat not only his teammate but Verstappen and maybe even Lando. As for the point scoring goes, he could be in the top 5. Max Verstappen ended the triple header with his first ever career Grand Slam, setting the pole, the fastest lap, leading every lap of the race on the way to his 5th victory of the season. Verstappen looks unbeatable at the moment. I doubt Hamilton could defeat Max even if he was given the same car as Max. It's all coming together for Verstappen and Red Bull. Silverstone is traditionally Hamilton territory, but so were Paul Ricciardo and Austria. Yet Verstappen managed to break the trend and will be hoping to do the same at Silverstone. Next up we have Pierre Gasly. There isn't much to justify his place in the top 10. He is the only other driver apart from Norris and Verstappen to have scored points in all the races they finished, so he should be up there as long as there are no technical issues. And now my surprise driver in the top 10, George Russell. He was on fire in Austria. He must be wondering what he needs to do to score a point for Williams. After his hard effort in qualifying failed to yield a point on Sunday, Russell was running 10th and on his way to scoring his first point for the team when he was passed by Fernando Alonso with 3 laps to go, resulting in his third 11th place finish of his career. George has been knocking at the top 10 in the last couple of races. It's only a matter of time before he succeeds, and what better place to do it than his home race at Silverstone. This could be debatable, but I'm going for a top 10 finish for George Russell. Now, we'll have a look at the all-important podium. In all my previous predictions, I had Max as the race winner, but Hamilton is a different beast at Silverstone as he draws so much positive energy from the British fans. I'm going for a comeback victory for Hamilton, with Verstappen coming in at second and Lando Norris rounding off the podium. How beautiful it will be to see Lewis making a comeback, Norris on the podium, and Russell scoring his first points for Williams in front of a full capacity British crowd. What do you think? Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below, and I'll meet you in the next one.